In the 1960s, the United States produced some of the most futuristic cars ever imagined. One of the most extraordinary creations of that era was the Strip Star, a radical show car that blended the worlds of hot rods, drag racing machines, and concept cars. Its appearance alone looked like something from science fiction: an ultra-low body, asymmetrical styling, and experimental technology rarely seen on road cars of the time. The project was created in California by legendary custom car builder Gene Winfield. The car was commissioned by hot rod promoter and collector Bob Larrivee Sr., and who wanted a spectacular machine to headline his traveling show car exhibitions across the United States and Canada. The story of the Strip Star began in the early 1960s, a period when American car culture was dominated by creativity and experimentation. Custom car builders were constantly trying to push the limits of design and engineering. Bob Larrivee Sr., who organized famous car exhibitions such as the Detroit Autorama, wanted a completely unique vehicle that could amaze audiences. To achieve this, he turned to Gene Winfield, whose workshop in Modesto, California, had already built numerous innovative custom vehicles. Winfield was known for bold styling and futuristic ideas, making him the perfect person to bring Larrivee's vision to life. The goal was clear: create a car that would be both a showpiece and a high-performance experimental machine. One of the most striking features of the Strip Star was its unusual asymmetrical design. The body was hand-formed from aluminum and deliberately built with an off-center layout. The front end featured a grille and headlights that were positioned asymmetrically relative to the center line of the car. One headlight came from a Honda unit, while the other used French driving lights. Such design choices were extremely unusual and gave the car a dramatic and experimental appearance. The sleek fastback body began above the driver's cockpit and smoothly flowed toward the rear of the car, where a drag racing parachute was integrated into the design for braking at very high speeds. The car was built on a heavily modified Ford 1948 chassis with a wheelbase of approximately 107 inches. The chassis was reworked to accommodate the extremely low and aerodynamic body shape. Underneath the car, a full belly pan covered the underside, improving airflow and reducing aerodynamic drag. This solution was commonly used in racing vehicles designed for high-speed runs. As a result, the Strip Star was not only visually impressive, but also engineered with serious performance ambitions in mind. Power came from a massive Ford 427 V8 engine with a displacement of 427 cubic inches, or nearly 7 liters. In full racing specification, the engine produced between about 500 horsepower, an enormous figure for the early 1960s. The engine was paired with a 4-speed Ford manual transmission connected to a rear axle from the 1948 Ford platform. The entire car weighed about 2,300 pounds, slightly over 1,000 kilograms. With such a powerful engine and relatively low weight, the Strip Star had the potential to achieve extremely high speeds. Early testing of the car took place at the famous Bonneville Salt Flats, a legendary location for speed record attempts. During preliminary runs, the Strip Star reached approximately 204 kilometers per hour. However, the builders had hoped for much more. Their ultimate goal was to exceed 320 kilometers per hour, but the attempt was halted due to a transmission failure. Despite this setback, the test demonstrated the impressive potential of the car's design. To safely slow the vehicle at high speeds, the Strip Star was equipped with a drag parachute similar to those used on professional drag racing machines. The interior of the car was designed in the distinctive style of 1960s show vehicles. The cockpit featured black Naugahyde upholstery, black carpeting, and lightweight fiberglass bucket seats padded with foam. One of the most unusual elements inside the cabin was the steering wheel, which was made from aluminum and bent at a 90-degree angle. Even more futuristic was the car's remote control system. Using this system, operators could start the engine, raise or lower the roof, and even control the passenger windshield. In the early 1960s, such technology seemed almost futuristic. The exterior appearance of the Strip Star was equally impressive. The body was finished in a bright candy tangerine paint, applied in an incredible 40 layers over a pearl base. This technique created a deep, glossy effect that made the car stand out under show lights. The vehicle rode on Goodyear Supersport tires, mounted on Terra thrust wheels, designed and manufactured by Gene Winfield himself. Every element of the design was intended to attract attention and create a dramatic visual impact at car exhibitions. Only a single example of the Strip Star was ever built, making it a true one-off creation. For about 3 years, the car served as a star attraction in Bob Larave's show car exhibitions across the United States and Canada. It appeared at numerous automotive events, where its radical styling fascinated audiences. Decades later, the car even gained a moment of cinematic fame when it appeared as a futuristic vehicle in the movie Back to the Future Part 2, which depicted a vision of the year 2015. Today, the Strip Star remains one of the most unusual vehicles in the history of American custom car culture. Because only one example exists, determining its exact market value is difficult. However, rare show cars from the 1960s often sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auctions. Beyond its potential value, the Strip Star represents something even more important: the creativity and imagination of an era when custom car builders were willing to experiment with bold designs and futuristic ideas that still captivate automotive enthusiasts today.